Unfortunately, the Osher clan lost to the Uranuhit clan, who had used insidious means during the duel. The Osher leader was killed and the clan ended up being exiled to Endless Cape. Drow Silvermoon, now known as Echo, was the daughter of the former clan leader, and because of her extraordinary looks, she was sold as a first-class slave to a slaver at Port of Clearwater. Iron Axe was of mixed blood, and despite his being adopted by the Osher clan, he was never regarded as a real Majin person by the Sand Nation. For this reason, he escaped the fate of exile. Instead, other clans highly regarded him and they wanted to recruit him due to his excellent combat abilities. However, Iron Axe felt loyalty towards the Osher clan leader and was grateful for all of his help over the years, which, coupled with his desire to save Echo, made him resolutely reject the offers from the other clans. After a long and difficult journey, he finally arrived at Port of Clearwater. Unfortunately, he was too late and Echo had already been sold to the Kingdom of Greycastle. Ultimately, Echo had been rescued by the witches and joined the Witch Cooperation Association, while Iron Axe headed to the western region of Greycastle with a broken spirit. Today they unexpectedly ran into each other in Border Town. After a moment Roland asked, "So what's your plan? Do you want to return to the southernmost region with Echo and revive the Osher clan?" "No, Your Highness." Iron Axe went down on one knee. "I've already sworn to the three gods that I'll serve you for the rest of my life. It's just I was so excited to see Lady Silvermoon again that I couldn't control my emotions. Please punish me." "What about you?" the prince asked, looking at Echo. "Do you want to go and avenge your people?" Echo also knelt in front of the prince before replying. "After my awakening as a witch, I did have thoughts of revenge, but that was a long time ago." She bit her lip. "Please allow me to stay. I don't have anywhere else to go." "I understand." "Stand up, both of you," Roland said quietly. "You don't have to act contrite, and I haven't said anything yet." He paused a moment before saying empathetically, "You know, it's not impossible for me to help you get your revenge." "What?" Iron Axe opened his eyes in shock, unable to believe his own ears. Echo, on the other hand, did not react. After all this time she had given up hope of ever returning to Iron Sand City. Of course, not right this very moment. Roland waved his hand dismissively. This idea of his had not been mere whimsy. According to Iron Axe's descriptions of the southernmost region, he had heard about some very interesting things: hot and dry land with the strange terrain. How the ground would spew forth orange flames that could burn for decades, never to be extinguished. Near the flames, the ground had eroded into many pits, and in their depths, and one could see the Black Styx's river. Orange fire and the Styx's river. The more Roland thought about it, the more he believed. That sounds like oil. Better still, it sounds like free-flowing oil. There was no point in thinking about the importance of the black liquid to industrial development. And more than half of the modern-day wars were over oil. The rise and fall of oil prices could even impact the wealth and success of many countries, changing the structure of the world. If he was able to establish a foothold in the southernmost region, through the Osher clan, he would acquire a stable oil source. But for now, Roland would not concern himself with remote disputes. He would, however, keep it in the back of his mind and eventually stage this once in a lifetime. "After I take the throne, I'll find a way to get justice for you." Roland again stopped Iron Axe from kneeling. "But, as for today, you violated an order of the First Army. You're sentenced to 2 days of confinement, and during these days, you're to reflect on your actions." "Yes, Your Highness," Iron Axe happily replied. "Then let us continue your training," Roland said to the chief knight, "and you'll be responsible for the next march." Carter nodded. Brian had thought that today's training had already finished. However, everyone was still on the training ground, and no one dared to leave. When Carter left with the prince, he ordered them to rest on site, but he had not dismissed them. On his old patrol team, this type of situation would be unthinkable. "Your Excellency, do you think His Excellency Iron Axe will come back?" asked Nail from his team. "His actions just now startled me." "How many times have I told you not to call me like that?" Brian corrected him. "In the First Army, you should address me as team leader. His Highness told us to use military terms. After he was knighted by Prince Roland, his rank within the army rose up. The rest of the team no longer talked to him, except for Nail, a short fellow who had been a miner before joining the platoon. He often came by to chat. According to Nail, he not only talked with the knight, he had even claimed to have had close conversations with Prince Roland himself too. This was a special situation. His Highness can't blame him too much, right? Although he agreed with this, Brian was not too sure about it. He once saw a civilian who had accidentally collided with their lord's carriage killed on the spot by the lord's guards. Iron Axe was a foreigner, and he had bowed to another while His Highness was present, even called her clan leader. No matter how you looked at it, it was a clear break of etiquette. "My guess is that'll be the case," nodded Nail. "I've spoken to His Highness personally, and he isn't like other nobles." He scratched his head, trying to find the right words. "Even though he looks like most nobles, he acts completely different." Brian also did not want something bad to happen to Iron Axe. After over a month of training together, he felt a deep sense of respect for him, especially after he had taught them how to build a tent during their field training. They had all benefited from his superb skills and his enjoyable teaching method. In Brian's eyes, Iron Axe was even more suitable than Carter Lannis to be the commander of the First Army. "They're already back." Nail brushed against Brian's arm. "Hey, I can't see His Excellency Iron Axe." Before his imagination could run wild, Carter had already ordered them to get into formation. Then, His Highness Roland stepped forward and began to give a speech. "The woman standing beside me is a witch. Her name is Echo, and she's an acquaintance of Iron Axe. They have been separated for many years, however, because Iron Axe disrupted formation and violated the military rules. He has been sentenced, by me, to confinement for 2 days, as dictated by the rules. I'll repeat this once more. You all now belong to the regular army, and the most important rule for a member of this army is to obey orders and maintain discipline. Do you understand this?" "Yes, Your Highness," Brian and the rest shouted. After hearing about Iron Axe's fate, he finally calmed down. Nail, who was still next to him, was looking at him while making a wry face. "In the next training exercise, Echo will aid you. Her ability allows her to imitate sounds, such as musical instruments, trumpets, and drums. The marching song that she'll play next will be the signal for you to act. Everyone has to move to the beat of the drums while maintaining your formation in one line." Here, His Highness paused. "On the battlefield, Echo will be standing behind you. She'll be the banner of the First Army, the soul of the Flintlock Squad. You'll have to protect her at every cost. Now everyone should become familiar with the melody." "What's a marching song?" Brian was confused. "Is it something like the music they occasionally play in pubs? Is it appropriate to use that soft music to direct the march of the army?" But, once he heard the melody coming out of Echo's mouth, he instantly realized what His Highness had meant. The rhythm of the drum deeply affected him, which made him want to move forward while provoking his desire to fight. This so-called marching song was a battle hymn that would encourage and motivate everyone on the battlefield.